Questions?
How much of your business is people calling in for catering, and how much is it for you going out actively seeking it? And how many salespeople do you have to get those numbers?
Salespeople we don't have per se. We only have, in each store, the makeup is 4 to 5 managers per store, an LSM per store, and a catering person per store. I will tell you, the 2 stores that are not doing as well did not have LSMs up till about 2 months ago. A local store marketer. That person is someone that we work with directly between the local owner and myself and the local store marketer to identify opportunities to go out in the marketplace and build our brand awareness. And so there's a lot of strategic thinking as to how you're going to go out and literally make connections in the community. Part of it's belonging to chambers and going and hosting lunches and things like that. We're in 6 county chambers right now, and we're very active in each one of those.
This is a question or a comment. Another book I'd recommend is Blink by Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah.
And when you walk into your operation, when you blink, you can see this operation is well run. It's clean, it's organized, the plates on your line, the bar, on the back. You know, people walk into an establishment, before they can verbalize it or anything else, their mind has processed the information, is this a place I want to be or not? And our job as restaurateurs is to make sure that when they walk in the door, within that first 3 to 5 seconds, even before they get to your establishment, from the corner of the parking lot or whatever, that the part of the brain that's processing 100,000 more bits of information than the one you're recognizing is saying, this is a place I want to be, and you're succeeding in that.
I appreciate that. Before that book was written, us older folks would say that was called a moment of truth. And throughout a guest experience, there are hundreds of moments of truth. And the goal is that they're mostly positive moments of truth, but the ability to identify a negative moment of truth and turn it, that's the key. And that takes empathy and humility all at the same time. That's a great observation. Thank you. Other questions, comments?
Ron, I will say too that I don't think we know this as much, but your staff that you have, not just Mike, but the wait staff, that's a key part of a restaurant being successful is having a great wait staff. You could have the best people. If you got 4 staff, chances are people might not come back. If you have great staff, the food might be, okay, people will come back.
That sparks a quick story that I'll tell you about when we opened up Conyers. That was my first store briefly for only about a week after I opened, and then I had Nick ask me to come buy out a partner on this side of town. Without going through all that drama, I will tell you that I didn't know what Conyers was other than Rockdale County and their infamy in the 60 Minutes high school. Yeah. Oh, you went to school there. Okay, so you know. Good, great. Hopefully you weren't part of the 60 Minutes thing, but all right. We walked into the chamber and we said we'd like to join, and he said, great, it'd be $350 a year. I said, no. We really want to join, we want to belong, we want to participate. I don't want a plaque on my front wall. I want to know how we get involved. What's important to the community, because I know nothing about Rockdale County. And he said, well, there's this barbecue that the United Way does, but this other restaurant guy's been doing it for 6 years. I said, okay. He said, but does he charge him? He said, yeah, and they do about 1,200 meals. I said, well, we haven't opened yet, but we have 2 other restaurants on the other side. We'd like a crack at it. Well, can you do better than cost? And I said, okay, let me call Nick. I called Nick. Nick said, yeah, let's do it for free. So I said, well, great. We haven't made a penny, and we're about ready to go ahead and spend enough money for 1,200 meals. As this came to play out, was we went to United Way and said, we don't really have a place yet. They said, that's all right, we do it at the old Maxell factory here, and across the street was Rockdale Career Academy. I said, how about we go teach the culinary students, because they have a new culinary program, we'll give them our recipes, they're going to make our baked beans or coleslaw, we'll drop ship all the stuff, smoke the meat to the other 2 stores, and we'll get them to help us. Next thing you know, Jim and X, we're in there now teaching these students in Conyers where we're watching the walls go up. This is in September. We don't open until November. And we wind up by now booking up to 1,800 meals at $10 a piece. So we helped raise $18,000 for United Way in Rockdale County. Meanwhile, the paper's got a hold of it saying, look at the synergy between a new business that's opening, education, teaching kids how to give to a charity. So it was this trifecta that came at play, and we literally had parents dropping their kids off at our hiring trailer going, we don't know who you are, but we like what you all stand for. It falls under the category of pay it forward. And from a community standpoint, we just did the Mercedes Marathon this past weekend. Mike, there's 8,000 people there.
Well, 12,000.
12,000. Everybody at the end of the marathon was fed Jim and Nick's meal, sandwiches and everything on the house is our way to give back to the community of Birmingham, who for 25 years has been giving to us. And all the money was raised went to the Bell Foundation for children with disabilities. And it just, next thing you know, the media came out, they did a news story, and Fox did like 3 segments on Jim and Nick's and the partnership we've enjoyed since the Mercedes Marathon started like 12 or 13 years ago. So I take no credit for that. That's Nick Pahakis and just how he becomes kind of a presence in the community, and that's the local part, I think, of who we are. And going back to the staffing, we don't look for experience. It's really all about kind of what's in here, because we're all about Southern hospitality. You know, we're in the South. That's what we do. So.